Where's your camera, though? Are you, like, hiding from us now?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No. I'm
you're
here.
I don't even see you.
What?
He's right there. I can see him.
I got the little bubble. I don't know why he disappeared off of my screen, which is fine. I don't need to see him.
It might take a minute because I dropped off and came back on thinking that Skype was just being stupid. And then that's when I remembered that it updated, and that's why it was setting up the display that way.
Nah, I've lost your video. Oh, well. No big whoop.
Yeah, it may come back.
She doesn't care to see your face.
I know. I don't either. It makes you feel any better.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say that.
But I did.
I know, but I'll say it about me.
Well, you can say it, but I'm not going to say that. I love seeing all your faces, so.
I'll say it about him. No one wants to look at your face.
So
then why do you live with him?
That reminds me.
Trust me, it has nothing to do with his face.
Oh.
I mean, am I wrong?
No.
But no, your face is good. I'm just being a dick.
Engage fluo injectors.
Engaging fluo injectors.
Fluo reactors at 80%, sir.
Fluo containment field is destabilizing.
Emergency fluo containment protocols now. All hands brace for impact.
Brace for impact in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another episode of World 1-1 Podcast. This week, before we hit the meat and taters, as always, is shameless self-promotion section. So, Podbean at world11.podbean.com, all spelled out, all one word. Google Play Music, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, maybe Podchaser and Podknife. One of these days I will check and remember. YouTube and Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. There, that's all of it. Yay! Done.
No, it's not. It's not all of it, because you couldn't remember half of it. So don't pat yourself on the back there. Get a list!
No, I'm pretty sure we're there. I think I got those set up some time ago. I just don't remember for certain if I did.
Find out and make the list. We tell you this.
One of these days.
Yeah, I've been telling you for a year.
Podchaser and Podknife are ancillary, though. So, but all that said,
choose your fighter.
I am, as always, your host this week, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me is Michael Debbie Downer. Ray of sunshine that she is, Kathy. And joining us this week for, yes, I'm going there with that joke, color commentary.
Oh!
Eddie's not here, or it would have been Eddie. It would have been Eddie, but he's not here.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right. Damn. All right.
Is Zoe.
Oh my god.
These are a long-ass nickname. At some point, y'all have these kick-ass nicknames. I was like, Zoe's got to get herself a nickname.
These change every week.
They do.
They do.
Literally,
oh,
whatever
yeah.
Generally
just
follow
flies to the
a
top
theme.
of my head.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and to be fair, the jokes with Eddie usually do touch on a mild race theme. Typically nothing super offensive, but they usually hit the subject. So,
Like me and Eddie would get along too.
Mm-hmm.
You two really would. Eddie is like one of the sweetest human beings on the face of the earth.
Yes.
Like, it's kind of impossible to hate Eddie.
And you said that on recording, so you can't take it back.
Oh, I know.
He wouldn't.
I know he wouldn't.
Not with Eddie. Eddie is a hoot. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I miss you, Eddie. Miss you too,
So,
Dylan and Josh.
yes, Josh is otherwise detained this week with family matters. Dylan is just MIA. He's probably dead in a ditch somewhere over at the parking lot of AT&T. To be fair, if he was going to die somewhere, it was probably going to be there. So, I know I was feeding him to live earlier.
No, I just saw them and I'm like, oh, I love
Fudge
them.
brownie M&Ms.
I know, those are the best, and I'm jealous because I don't have any in my house.
They
I would
might be
give them-
gone by the time
I
we
would
come back
rank
up here.
them second best behind the peanut butter ones, though.
Peanut butter are the, oh, I remember when those came out. They were
I
my
almost think the
lifesaver.
fudge brownie ones are too rich.
I could, yes, they are, but they're still good.
They are.
Sorry,
but I
got off
can't-
track. Thanks,
You
Zoe.
can't do fudge brownie M&Ms in the same volume that you can peanut butter M&Ms because the fudge ones are so rich.
Or you're just weak.
At the very least, you would have to have milk to go with the fudge brownie M&Ms.
No.
I stand by my statement.
So you go right ahead and kill them off.
Yes.
So.
Mhm.
So let's get straight to
Oh my gosh!
Video games.
Michael. What have you been playing?
I just platinumed Maneater, the shark game.
Yeah, the
Oh my
Shark
God.
GG.
It was like I paid $40 for it. I paid retail, like full retail price, and it's not quite worth the $40, but I still had a lot of fun with it.
Mhm.
My biggest complaint is like now that I'm done with it, it needs
More.
DLC of some kind. It needs a few more areas. It needs more more mutations, because like there's a certain point where your shark will mutate outside of the realm of reality, and you get like bony deposits and shit like that.
Ooh.
And each set, like there's you can modify your head, fins, tail, body, and teeth. And there are 3 different sets that you get. The bioelectric set, which kind of basically gives you the ability to dodge better.
Okay.
Because once you have the complete set, your dodge is no longer just a shimmy to the side or anything like that. You literally turn to electricity and teleport away.
Ooh.
Nice.
Like
That's
as I said,
fun.
Teleporting
Yeah.
shark.
yeah. There's the bone set, which is exactly what it sounds like. You basically become this armored tank that the whole purpose of it is to be able to take down boats. And then there's the shadow set that involves poison and stuff like that. And the shadow set I love just because it's the fastest. But for end game, I pretty much had to use the bone set because some of that end game stuff was just brutal. But as I said, like overall, I had a lot of fun with it. The biggest drawback is why is there not a secret bonus fight with like either the Kraken or the Cthulhu?
DLC.
Yeah, I hope so. There's been no talk of DLC yet for it,
It's still early.
but yeah, it's only been out since what, Friday?
Something like that.
Like, and I'm saying like if you, because it's basically an action RPG.
Right.
And the story's a lot of fun because the story is done from the perspective, those gator hunting shows in the bayou or whatever? It's done like that. And it's
love
narrated by Chris Parnell.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
it's a lot of fun. Because at one point he's talking about how ridiculous it is that people watch this kind of show, but he's like, whatever, they're signing my checks, I don't care. So and it progressively just gets weirder and weirder. And like the very start of the story is there's basically this hunter named Scaly Pete that catches what effectively is your mother. And he cuts you out of her womb after he catches her, and while he's marking you, you take off his hand.
Nice.
So the
fucking
first
gets.
thing you do in the game, your first mission is to eat his hand, like that is
Eat
flopped away. And then it's an ongoing thing of, you know, you're trying to get revenge on him, he's trying to get revenge on you, so it keeps going back and forth. At one point, like, he ends up scarring up your eye, you take off his leg, he sets you on fire, you eat his son.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
It's just an escalation of insanity.
It really is. And like then
It's
the
like the
ending
chicken
of it,
fights.
kind
Yes.
of, the ending of it, it ends in this way that like hyper dramatic, but still it's a giant shark covered in bone deposits, like fucking up this guy, and he's basically having a conversation with you. And it was the ending was fantastic. I enjoyed the shit out of it. And then like there's also all the there's a ton of side missions. The game is very much a huge collectathon. You know, go like because the missions get really repetitive. Go eat this in each area. Go eat 10 humans. Then go eat 10 turtles or alligators or fucking mako sharks or whatever. There's actually a sperm whale in the game. You can fuck his shit up too. And like, as I said, you do that, then you do all the other side missions, and eventually the apex predator of the area will show up, and you kill that thing, and then you get a new piece of armor or whatever. And as I said, like for what I paid, I had a lot of fun with it. I'm really hoping they just add to it, add more, even if it's just more costumes or like just shit like that. Yeah.
I would, it'd be cool if they did DLC where it kind of based off of all those shark movies. Like you had a DLC pack where you could be a Sharknado, kind of theme, or like sand sharks, land sharks, swamp sharks, all of those movies. And you could like totally go into those areas and basically recreate the movies, but you're the shark and you're the one going, yeah.
That would be fantastic. Oh, here's one of the best parts is the missions where you're supposed to eat humans. Once you start eating people, they get out of the water, which means if you want to keep eating people, so do you. So you literally can just ramp up speed and fly up onto the beach and just flop around gnawing on people.
Nice.
Yeah, listen, I had a lot of fun with it.
Somebody explain to me why there are not more just patently ridiculous video games like that.
There should be. Like, as I said,
there really should.
There should
be a market for it. And as I said, that's kind of what attracted me to this in the first place.
Yeah.
And I figured $8, it's not that big a deal if it's terrible. And as I said, like I got 22 hours out of it, and I 100%ed it at 22 hours. The game is relatively forgiving with deaths and whatnot. As I said, I had a lot of fun with it. There's a level cap at level 30. Every so often, you get to a new level and you literally grow in size because you start the game as a pup.
Right.
And the game does this thing like
shark.
Yeah. And then the game does this thing like, for instance, every time you grow to a different size, what's his name? Chris Parnell comments on it, and like when I grew to teen size, he mentions that there's probably going to be prepared because there's probably going to be an insatiable amount of ennui and bad poetry on the way. And just progressive shit like that. The game is funny and it's tongue in cheek and it's as I said, it was fantastic. You stop it.
I'm honestly, frankly, I'm a little disappointed there weren't baby shark. There wasn't like a singular baby shark joke in there. There should have been just
there
one.
Really should have. However, there were a ton of references to anything. Like there was a reference to Rick and Morty. There was a reference to Stargate.
Wow.
Like, there were two different references to Cthulhu in it.
Whoa.
There was a reference to Pacific Rim.
Nice.
Like you literally find the gate from Pacific Rim that they literally just built a gate over it and then chained it closed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
so, and it's
that has promise then. It has promise that they maybe are thinking DLC because that'd be awesome if like that gate could be opened.
Like
sitting
this
there
stuff.
and swimming and the kaiju comes out.
They're not done with it because, as I said, it was definitely worth the price of admission. I had a lot of fun with it. So, Other than that, I've been playing a little bit of that Pankapu.
Yeah.
I'm stuck at one boss. He's kind of kicking my ass sideways, and that's when I ended up getting the shark game. So.
Okay.
You said something about, I think actually maybe Larry did, about there being a market for these type of games. My ex was big on finding games like this. Like, there's one game, and it was just like this random-ass hunting game, and that was just your goal. There was one, it was called Dynamite Fishing, and that was some game that he ended up playing.
Like
Another one was
Simulator.
Yeah, and it was another one was called Mud Running, and your job was to like transport these things, but you were always in some like big ass truck just trying to make it through. Just these random ass games that really don't have any sort of story, but you're just doing stuff.
No, I'm talking like full blown like absurdity stuff. Like, you are the shark, go kill humans, or like fucking destroy all humans.
Yeah.
Is another one I think that solidly falls into that category.
yeah.
Of
I'm actually really looking forward to the remake of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because first of all, like what originally got me to buy that way back in the day was the voice of Invader Zim.
Right.
He's in it. I think he plays your boss basically.
Yeah.
And like as I said, it was a lot of fun. And like a lot of those open world games, it gets old relatively quick because the missions get repetitive. But as I said, it's why it's why I never finished Prototype. It's why I never finished most of the Grand Theft Autos. They get old. What's it called? This Maneater plays kind of the same way, but it's short enough that I was still like, fuck it, I'm so close to finishing, I might as well finish.
It knows when to stop.
Yes.
I agree. That's why I stopped playing Prototype as well. It's just like you're going somewhere, you're eating somebody, you're gathering information. Like you might come up with some cool new moves, but like you're doing the same thing over and over and over.
I did love how the parkour felt in that game, though. Just running around that game was fantastic. Because I know that and what was the other one? The electric one.
Infamous.
Infamous, yeah, that and Infamous came out about the same time. And I know Infamous was technically a better game, but Prototype was a lot more fun to play.
Yeah.
But as I said, I never finished either of them just because they both get really repetitive. Like, those are the kind of games that, like, in order to finish them, like, as I said, at some point, if there's no cheat codes, I'm done. I just don't care. Let me just play. Let me just play the fucking game. So, I don't know.
Well, and I mean, God knows that's been a major complaint levied against, like the Assassin's Creed series and Far Cry, over the last how many iterations, too.
Do you guys see that concept? Someone put up a thing saying, just hear me out here, Assassin's Creed Oregon Trail.
No, but I would play that in a heartbeat.
I'm in, right there.
I'm in.
Your character has to be named Terry.
There's a shared universe I can get behind.
That you're starting too soon.
Right. God damn it.
We're not ready for that yet.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
All right, but yeah, that's what I've been playing. Like,
sounds like fun.
Yep. That, and I watched. I went through the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I went through all the bonus features. I was really weirded out on it that there's not a single mention of the redesign.
They want to forget it.
Surprised, yeah.
That was such a disaster when he first came out. Yeah, they're gonna hide that.
But as I said, like, I think it's interesting. It's interesting because it's the first time that's ever happened, and that they actually listened. And the movie wasn't the best thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't bad. Like, it was well done. Plus,
don't say anything about it. Haven't seen it. Don't
what's
ruin
his name?
anything.
Jim Carrey as Robotnik was perfect. Like, it's Jim Carrey being the Jim Carrey you grew up with.
Right.
It was great. I really liked it. But as I said, like, I was kind of surprised that they didn't have some mention of it at all, and like there wasn't anything.
It would have been beneficial to them to address it because I think it would have shown.
Right.
There would have been. I can't think of what I'm looking for.
The concept of we did this for you guys.
Yeah.
For
Don't hide it. Don't hide the fact that it was out there. I guess don't hide behind it. Like embrace it.
Yeah.
Embrace the fact that we we thought this is what you wanted. You said no, and we made it better.
Right.
But oh well, I'm surprised too. They didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kathy, tell me about what you've been playing this week.
So I picked up a new game on the App Store, and it's been out for a while, so it's not a new game, but it was new to me, and I hadn't found it. And it kind of goes along the theme of basically kind of going with Michael, not eating everything, but destroying the entire world. And I picked up Plague Inc., and it was only 99 cents on this App Store. And basically, it's all about starting a worldwide virus, a pandemic, and then your goal is to kill the entire world. And it's basically just a strategy game where you have different types of plagues that you can start out with. You start off with the basic bacteria, and then you can unlock virus, fungal.
We lost her.
Why do I feel like I've heard of this? Or maybe there's just a game that's like it, but I've seen one of my friends playing a game where your goal is to infect the world.
Yeah.
Kathy, you went robot.
This game, I think, came out in 2011. Uh-oh.
Like, we lost you for about 20 seconds,
You
and
guys
then you came back robot.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still a robot?
No,
You're
it's
good now.
mostly gone.
Okay. So, no, I picked this game. It's been out for a while because it was copyrighted in 2011. So it's not a new game.
Okay.
Gone again.
She froze again.
She did. No, I would say I think I've seen Plague Inc. around originally as a board game. Truth be told, actually, I know for a fact it is because it's made the rounds in the board game revolution community lately, cracking jokes about, is this inappropriate to play these days? So, I know, I would say, I almost guarantee you it started life as a board game. But I didn't realize there was a digital of it, and I may have to go looking for it, because honestly, it kind of interested me. I think we may be losing Kathy momentarily. So...
Technology, gotta love it.
I know. That's weird. We don't usually have connection issues for Kathy. That's kind of an oddball this week. So, okay. So yeah, I think we're losing Kathy this week. Apparently, there's some bandwidth consumption issues at the moment. So, all right. So, jumping forward, Zoe, I know you said you were playing something and you were wanting to share. Do tell. The fuck have you been playing this week?
I played Felix the Reaper. What is the underscore title of that? The story of
Felix the Reaper, a story about a romantic comedy about love and death.
Yeah.
I think I've actually got that on my wish list.
It's actually pretty cool. So you play this, Felix, who is a Grim Reaper, and your job is, go on Earth and do whatever it is, Reapers do. And oddly, the stuff that you end up doing, a lot of it, I'm like, why is this the Reaper's job? But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. And he, is doing his job, but his goal is to meet up with his lady love, who happens to work for, the life department, so the exact opposite of what he does. And the whole freaking game is narrated by Patrick Stewart. It is beautiful. And he's helping you through, and it's just his voice, and he's kind of being silly, and it's great. But what I love about Felix is it's a puzzle game essentially, and your goal is to complete these different objectives with, not as many moves, with as least amount of moves as possible, doing certain things. But the whole time Felix is You listen to this awesome poppy music, and Felix is dancing. He's this chunky Grim Reaper guy, just grooving and dancing and flipping, and it's freaking great. I only have one sort of like criticism at all with this. Every so often they introduce to you a new like thing to use in your puzzle solving. And the way they show it to you is a really simple way to use whatever this tool is. You go, okay, I got the hang of this. And then the next puzzle you go into, they're like, okay, use this thing we showed you, but now it's going to be used in this tricky, ingenuitive way that you would have never thought to fucking put together. It's like when you're in school and your teacher's like 2 + 2 is 4, and you're like, okay, I got that. And then it's like, you know, if Jim and Sally are both, you know, running across the water and a bolt of lightning comes and strikes one, like just a random fucking, like, that's how it plays after it teaches you this new skill. So that's my only criticism. But oddly, I feel like it also plays like a mobile game where if you complete the level, you complete the level, but you have like a number of skulls you can get on how well you can complete the level.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, it reminds me a lot of a mobile game, but that's all I've gotten so far. I've only done like 4 or 5 levels in the game, but I want to play some more, just been busy as fuck.
I would say I really love watching the animation, the little cinematic at the end of the stages, just you know, to see how it's all piecing together to fucking kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That was a beautiful thing. I would say I know we talked about it a little bit last week too, but I adore the fact that Patrick Stewart isn't just narrating per se so much as he is an actual character in the game, is Felix's boss.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, but my playlist this week has been a little on the short side as well, actually. Still dinking with Dead Cells, just because it's my boredom game. I did get a nostalgic kick this week, and I dug out the DS Lite, and I was playing some Mario Kart DS, which today I would rank it as the second best Mario Kart game they've ever put out. The only one I think that honestly tops it is 8 Deluxe. So, which, I mean, again, 8 Deluxe kind of has just about everything, really. So, but Mario Kart DS was so good. It took me a hot minute to fucking remember how to do the snaking shit, though, for the boosts. I was like, I know this is a thing. How the fuck do I do this? It's been too damn long. But it's still fun. It feels really good, and I had a ball with it. And my favorite Mario Kart track of all time is actually still trapped on Mario Kart DS. Not to my knowledge, I don't think it ever got reused on any future installments, which was Waluigi's Pinball. Because that track was fucking dope as shit. So they had a couple of others, though, that did make it out of there that I'm glad they did, but I'm still sad that Waluigi Pinball wasn't one of them. It should be. That's fucking bullshit, and it needs to be fixed. So, which honestly raises another issue. Why the fuck is there not more Mario Kart DLC? This is bullshit. But
Because life.
yeah, fucking grumble, horse shit. So, that's kind of been about all I've been playing. I don't think I've done much else. It's been a busy week, lots to do. But yeah, I think we'll cap the first half of the show here this week, and we're gonna take a moment. We'll be right back with the third half of the show right after the break. And we're back with the third half of the show. This week we're deep diving into the realm of fan theory. We're letting our imaginations run wild with some of our favorite franchises, and we're going to be talking about the concept of shared universes. So I'm gonna toss it to Michael first. We're looking at, you know, what are two series, universes, franchises, however you want to call it, that you would love to see connected into a shared universe, and how would you like to see that come to fruition?
Honestly, it wouldn't be too hard to do to figure out the logistics of it. Would be Hollow Knight and Ori.
Okay.
Like, they're both tiny creatures. You know, they're both like, hell, as I said, like Ori 2 stole quite a bit from Hollow Knight.
Yes.
You know.
it did.
And don't get me wrong, they did it well.
Mhm.
But you know, it wouldn't be too hard of a mashup, and gameplay wise it wouldn't be difficult.
Gameplay wise, I could see. I'm
not so sure about the story.
right.
Yeah, I
I
was like,
think-
I don't see how the stories would line up, like, at
Yeah.
all.
But no, I could see that. I mean, I say, really, if you think about it, Hollow Knight in and of itself was kind of a genre mash between Metroidvania and Souls-like.
Hmm.
So,
Hell, honestly, with the way that the Silk Song is looking, it actually kind of looks like the newest Ori game. In
bit.
that, you know, like the movement is much more, you know, fluid and things like that.
right. Well, that makes sense too, given the character that they're putting front and center for Silk
Oh, yeah.
Song. So,
I still can't wait.
oh, I know. Please tell me that makes it out this year. God.
I don't think so. Like, I think if it was going to be out this year, we'd have seen more about it so far.
Right.
Larry
Though,
showed
to
me
be
a
fair,
trailer
they
for it. It was good.
They stealth dropped Hollow Knight for Switch when that came out, though.
Did they?
Yeah, dude, that was an E3 stealth drop a couple years ago. Because it was Nintendo's E3 presentation, and it was out now.
Oh,
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not out of the fucking question, truth be told. So, Zoe, I'm going to toss over to you. Talk to me about two universes that you'd want to bring together in gaming.
I think it would be dope as fuck if we were somehow to merge Halo and Gears of War together. Because I'm like, between these, like, beings coming from underneath the ground and aliens from up above, we would just be fucked. But I'm like, imagine having to fight both of these forces.
my one caveat to that, I would like to see that happen to where you get all this going, but you have to play as the characters from Red versus Blue.
Yes!
I have no
Yeah,
idea what that is, so I can't.
We'll
Red
fix
versus Blue,
that, don't worry.
they took the engine from
fix
the
that
original
later.
Halo game and basically
Wrote a comedy.
they wrote a comedy over it. It was, the characters were all inept. It was fantastic.
Okay.
Like, I can
Well,
see
I
this
just-
now.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my
I
head.
just think the concept would be good of having just having those two things happening and just, you know, humans being invaded just from like all sides and you just having to fight this, you know, essentially I guess they're both hordes. No, was it the Covenant for Halo? And then
yeah,
the Horde
and
is
the Flood.
Is the Gears people? Yeah, and the Flood. Oh, fuck the Flood, okay? As soon as we got to that part of the game, I was cool fighting the freaking the Covenant and like all the aliens and stuff, and we hit the Flood, and I'm like, what the fuck are these things? I don't want to deal with them, especially the ones that freaking blew up. I'm just like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I hated the Flood. Because also it brought on the levels where like you had to hurry up and like run away. I'm already bad at video games as it is, and I need to take my time. Don't make me rush through where I gotta shoot things and I gotta rush, and I'm like, I'm doing too much. Fuck the Flood, okay? That's all I gotta say. I want a shirt that just says that. Fuck the Flood. And like, just
To be
I used to
fair, you
think
could
runs-
probably pick one up and use it as a fleshlight. They're squishy.
I don't even want to think about that.
Grab the wrong one and it'll blow your shit off.
Ew. Gross.
I'm telling you though,
secret-
I can see this box art on a store shelf though, it's Halo X Gears Apocalypse, and the subtitle or the tagline for the game is "Worst Day Ever."
Secret time. When the first Halo came out, I used to think the grunts were so cute. I was in love with the grunts. Like, just the way they would talk and their design. They're
Dialogue
just cute
was
little
great.
aliens. And they're just like, run away! And they're just these little guys.
Like,
and then they
my
got
God,
really
cute!
ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I love
the
the
dialogue
grunts.
with the grunts originally were fucking great.
Mm-hmm. Then they made them ugly, and then they got rid of that. I liked them a lot.
They were fun. They were good comic.
The only other universe I thought about mixing together, you told me already exists, and that's Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. I didn't realize that it was a thing that exists. I kind of feel sad that I haven't experienced that in my life yet.
Yeah, that kind of flew under a lot of people's radar when that happened.
Yeah, I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, so for anybody not aware, Game Boy Advance era, there were 2 GBA games. There was a Spyro game set in the Crash universe and a Crash game set in the Spyro universe. It was, Spyro Green and Crash Purple, I think it was, something like that. Or vice versa. But yeah, that's what those were. So...
Why hasn't there been a Spyro Mario game yet?
Ooh, I don't know.
Spyro is popular enough that they fucking mixed it up with a rabbit.
Yeah, that executed way better than it had any right to.
That's what I've heard.
And it was a lot of fun, actually, and the humor was very on point. So they managed to dial back the obnoxiousness of the rabbits to a reasonable point to where it was actually fun.
I like the obnoxiousness of the rabbit. I don't know why I do, but I like it. I love playing any of the Rabbids games. I just find them adorable.
Well, we have the Mario Rabbids game here. You're more than welcome to.
Yes.
It's been here.
One mashup that literally just popped in my head, and I don't know if there's any logical way to mesh these two together, but at least the game sounds very similar. I mean, if you want to help me, I'm not really issuing a challenge. I'm just in my brain, I can't do it. But Legend of the Dragoon and mixing that somehow with Diablo and mixing those together. I feel like they both have such extensive stories. I don't know if you could throw them two together, but I think it'd be boss as fuck, because I'm they both kind of exist in this magic-y realm. I could see them existing at the same time.
I think one's more fantasy lore and one's more biblical lore, though. That's
true.
Probably where you bump into the challenge of how do we stick these two together.
Yeah.
You know what? Obviously, you don't need to care that much because Soul Calibur has been doing it for years.
True.
Plus, Mortal Kombat has RoboCop now, so...
Jesus Christ.
I'd say Soul Calibur had Yoda and Vader, so...
Geralt was in the most recent one, which is actually a pretty good character in it.
By all technicalities, if you took Dragoon stuff and Diablo and mixed them together, it would just be how the world is today. Everybody believes in something different. So what if these are both happening, but people are looking at it through this lens, and someone else is looking at it through this lens, and they're all happening, but...
Right.
I say make it happen, and at the very end of the game, the 4 horsemen from Darksiders show up, and there's your secret.
Yes.
Actually, one of my favorite book series is a teenager kind of dealt with the concept of all mythologies are valid. Was Everworld.
Tell me about that before.
Yeah. So this and I don't think I've told you about this, Zoe. So I'm gonna fill in this blank because this was fucking dope, and you'd probably dig this shit. But the concept was that all the gods of mythology and lore, all actually real, but they've all left Earth and vacated to another realm, dimension, whatever. When everybody stopped believing in them, and so now they just inhabit this new place, and they all coexist peacefully. You know, like they've all kind of got this little swath of, you know, the world carved out where this is their swath and they're believers, and you know, there's neighbors and a little bit of, you know, friction here and there, but generally everything kind of works. And it all kind of just, you know, runs along like clockwork until a new god shows up, and it's an alien god, and he likes to eat the other gods. And it starts throwing everything out of balance. Yeah, no, really good fucking series. So it was a short, like 12-book series by K.A. Applegate, who did the Animorphs series as well.
Oh,
Okay.
So, which I would say the Everworld series, I think, was one of the coolest concepts she ever did. So, but that kind of that whole thing that's sprung to mind for me on the back of that subject. So, but no, I'm sure there's a way to stick those two together. I'm just trying to think of how to do it. Though, to be fair, Legend of Dragoon did have a section that was actually called, what was it? It wasn't Hell. It was Helena Prison, right at the beginning of the game. So,
give me a Legend of Dragoon and Breath of Fire mashup.
Ooh, there you go. Those two I can see coming together well.
And as I said, shove Legend of Legaia in there too.
Just for good measure.
Yeah, like it all kind of fits in the same concept. It would all work together really well. I just want an excuse to bring back Breath of fucking Fire.
Think we can cram Broken Sword in that too?
I haven't played that one.
I feel like we could. So
good.
But so I've been toying with this thought. I've had this working theory for a while now. And I think Michael, you and I have talked about it a little bit. But I have this working theory that the Metroid universe and the Ori universe are actually one and the same. And they are connected and interlinked. So here's how my brain gets there. No, I refuse to believe that Ori takes place on Earth. It doesn't fit. You know, you've got a lot of very similar animal, wildlife kind of thing, but they're all a little, you know, different, odd, kind of alien-esque. I'm running with the theory that the Idakuns and the Dachoras from Super Metroid are actually from the same planet that Ori takes place on. And I would I need a game where Samus essentially, you know, crash lands on Nibble and has to and tag teams with Ori. So Ori like rides around on Samus's shoulder, and Ori, you know, part of it is somewhere Samus's morph ball capabilities got disabled, and so Ori works as kind of like a drone, like from Axiom Verge, essentially.
No, because I don't even think Ori's that big, though. Like, because it would almost be a little bit like Minish Cap. Like, because Ori is tiny in comparison to a person.
Ooh, that opens up all sorts of other neat possibilities, too.
Yeah, like, I would almost say that Ori is at most maybe 3 inches tall.
I don't know. My understanding was Ori is about yay big-ish.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably the size of, like, you know, maybe like a small dog, maybe? Like, not very big, but...
Well, and
if he was a few inches, then how big...
Now that I'm thinking about
the Ginsu tree.
Because I'm assuming the Moki are about cat size. So yeah, you're probably right.
So...
Because I'm just thinking about, what the heck is the big guy's name?
Oh, Nehru.
Yeah. I'm looking at him, and when like Ori was like on his shoulder, I'm just like, I imagine him being like a Pikachu. Like that's how big Ori is.
Okay.
So not super big, but you know, definitely more than a few inches.
That also brings up an interesting concept of shoving Ori into the Pikachu universe.
Right.
Oh
Actually-
god, putting Pokemon just in Ori. The creatures you come across are just other fucking Pokemon. You run into a Squirtle.
No. Make Ori the trainer, and he's capturing all these creatures and forcing them to live in these little fucking balls. Spirit creature that's like, fuck all you. You're in my world now, bitches. I own you.
Actually, story-wise, I can make this connection work. Because if we pick up where Fusion left off, the Itakun and the Datora were on Samus's ship. Maybe she's dropping them back home.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah!
Okay.
God, I literally just remember that fucking detail, too. Like, there's a valid reason for this. And see,
worst
the thing
part
is,
The
the
worst part
design...
is it'll never happen, though.
I
since
know.
Nintendo is so protective of their bullshit, and since Ori is pretty much owned by Microsoft.
I mean, there's been a little bit of dabbling.
Yeah, but not enough.
Agreed.
As I said, I love Ori 2, and I would play through it again in a fucking heartbeat if they put it on my Switch.
Yeah. No, agreed.
I still haven't finished that on hard mode yet, by the way. I haven't even gone back to it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure that they could probably destroy, once and for all, Sony PlayStation altogether if Microsoft and Nintendo were to actually put their heads together full force.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
I prefer my PlayStation.
I know you do. And I'm not knocking, I'm just saying, like, those two have already dabbled in that realm. It's like, if you really wanted the market share dominance, you two would really bang your heads together.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And I mean, they've toyed with it.
Dicks about it. Like, we're not going to do the cross-platform. It's like, why the
Right.
fuck would you do that? Like, people already own the games. Like, it's not telling them you can't play it against people on our system. It's just petty bullshit.
It really is. Yeah, and I mean,
Now, haven't they reneged on that so far, though?
some of it,
Yeah.
like case by case, yes. So, but even then, with some of that reneging, there was still some real retarded stipulations on it.
Oh, yeah?
So, and I don't know how much of that has ever been rectified in the backlash when it came about, but like stuff like if you made your Epic account for Fortnite on PlayStation, that it couldn't fucking migrate, even though they're enabling crossplay, that you couldn't fucking migrate your account or use it anywhere but on your fucking PlayStation, which is fucking stupid because, it's a fucking Epic account. You should be able to use that login anywhere you're using Epic.
Yeah.
So, no, they made a lot of things needlessly difficult for the sake of being needlessly difficult, and then tried to pawn it off as, well, these are just limitations of the system and the infrastructure that it's... That's fucking horseshit, eat a dick. Like, nobody bought that line of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, just own up to the fact that you're being a shithead and move on.
Pretty much.
So, like, I'd have more respect for you if you had at least just said, yeah, we're being dicks, instead of giving me a fake bullshit excuse. So, I'd at least know, where shit stands with that. Rather than, this pithy try and, platitudes lie to me bullshit to make me feel better about it. But, so, outside of that, actually, you know what? I got one for you that we can stick Diablo with.
Okay.
And Michael, I think you're going to agree with me here. This will fit well. Blasphemous.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I haven't even played that game, but what I've seen of it, I could see that definitely fitting.
Yeah.
Aha.
Whole bunch.
Oh, I'd get behind that. Let me just say, by the way, as much as I really enjoyed the Mario Rabbids, I really, really want a co-op platforming game, like old school 2D side scroll. Bring me Mario and Rayman.
No, let's just do Mario and Cyborg Justice.
Fucking
Or Mario
Bionic
and Streets
Commando.
of Rage. Battletoads and Streets of Rage. Come on!
I'm on board with that. Battletoads had the Double Dragon crossover back in the day.
Right? And I remember playing it a little bit. I remember it was decent.
Actually, you know what we need to cross Battletoads with now? Just so we have a way to finally bring it back from the from copyright hell. Battletoads and Scott Pilgrim.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Battletoads with with the arcade version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the one that's sitting at Walmart right now.
Uh-huh.
That one and Battletoads together, just turtles and toads, just going, just fighting evil.
Right.
I want to see Killer Instinct mashed up with Mortal Kombat.
Ooh. I
Like-
can see that.
There's no reason that wouldn't work.
Right. Tonally, they're very similar, too.
Yeah.
That's not that... And I mean, Lord knows we've had Mortal Kombat mashups. You know, we've gotten into the DC stuff.
Stop me if this has already happened, but I would love to see just a Marvel v DC game, because I love Injustice and I love Marvel vs. Capcom, but I would honestly love a whole like Marvel versus DC kind of character
I don't
game.
think they have.
It hasn't.
They need to. Like
both
everyone's
companies
always
are both companies are ridiculously protective of their own bullshit at this point.
What is the age-old argument? It's like, who would win in a fight? This person? You could battle these people together and kick, like...
Right.
I feel like they're missing something here that could be beautiful.
In the comic books, Venom kicked the shit out of Superman once.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Okay.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Honestly, it doesn't. Like,
love
as
Venom
much
as
as
a
I
character.
don't like Superman,
Yeah,
there's no way Venom
there's
would
no
win.
way. Yeah, exactly. There's no way. Like, I love Venom as a character, but yeah, absolutely not. Like, not only did he beat Superman, he beat Superman and Spider-Man simultaneously.
My thing with Superman is he also doesn't use a lot of his stuff to actually cause harm to anything. It was something I got off of a YouTube thing, and like Superman got all like mad and his like eye beams came up and they're like, put those away, what are you gonna do? Like melt an iceberg? You don't ever use those things to like fight people with. Because like my thing would be he would just have to like laser beam Venom and then win, but he doesn't do that because he doesn't believe in killing people. Like,
well, that's the worst part.
Honestly, it's the whole goody two shoes thing that stops him from winning.
He's a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Like, there have been comics where Superman just pulled out all the stops for one reason or another. He can destroy planets.
Yeah.
Like, he has no limit to what he can and what he can do.
Oh, I know what he's
Flash
really
is
capable
kind of
of.
up there too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what he's capable of.
Vibrate
There's
the
always that
entire planet
whole.
apart.
There's always that whole thing that like it's a good thing that Superman decided to be Superman instead of like, you know, a super villain, because that would just be bad for everybody involved.
Yeah.
I don't know. Batman would stop him.
No. Like, if
I
Superman
don't.
pulled out
I
the
will
stops,
never know. No, like if I agree with Michael. If Superman literally was like no holds barred, Batman would die.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, because he has rules, like Batman can win.
Yeah, but no, I desperately want and I know it probably won't ever happen, but like I really want a Marvel versus DC character like fight game, just because, you know, it's that age-old argument, and you would have those people that are like, I'm only gonna pick DC characters, and you know, put Hulk against, I don't know, Hulk and Superman. Put them together. See what the hell would happen if you were to like fight each other. And then in the game, you know, Superman does use his laser beams to fight people, and like you could see what that would look like.
Mhm.
See, my problem with that is like, because the Injustice games kind of did that. The whole concept of Superman fighting Harley Quinn, like that was ridiculous. Like that,
Yeah.
there shouldn't have been characters like the Joker. The Joker is a fantastic character, cannot go toe to toe with characters with actual superpowers. Like,
Right.
Apparently, he can beat some people's asses with Joker if you know how to use him right.
yeah, I didn't like Injustice just because I haven't liked Mortal Kombat since the second one. The games feel very wooden and like it just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like the way they play. Like, as I said, the fact that Spawn and Terminator and like RoboCop, as I said, like the fact that these characters are the three newest characters they added into it, I love all those characters. I'm, you know, a colossal nerd when it comes to shit like that. But even watching the gameplay of it, it's just like, it's just too stiff, like you said, and it's just, I can't do it. Like as I said, I haven't actually played any of the Mortal Kombat since the second one because it just doesn't do anything for me.
Right.
And like,
Honestly, go ahead.
well, and like the Tekken did the Tekken X Street Fighter X Tekken, which was okay, but the fact that the way Capcom handled it fucking just ruined it for me.
I could see that. Yeah,
That
and
was-
that's
Yeah, I was so excited for that game.
and I will say there has been a lot of universe crossovers, probably more than any by way of fighting games too.
Hmm
So
I think that's the easiest way to do it.
It is.
Although the last Marvel vs. Capcom was hot garbage too.
True. The question is, yes, it's the easiest way. However, does that make it the laziest way?
A little bit. I know
I don't.
there's a lot of those kind of games that Japan gets that we don't. Like Namco X, I think it's like Namco X Capcom.
Yeah.
I think if I'm correct, it's actually like a fucking role-playing game that uses characters from both, and you know.
Hmm.
But like, of course, we don't get that kind of stuff out here.
Right.
I actually like games like I'm very bad when it comes to fighting games. So a fighting game that is a little more stiffer, and I feel that moves and stuff come a little bit easier, work better for me than ones where it's like up, down, circle, backslash to like fucking do some super move. I can't ever remember to do all of that, so I kind of like a more, I'll say, limited and kind of just more structured fighting game. I also really love using your surroundings in a game like that. I love, you know, the scenery shifts and stuff like that. So I don't mind games like that. Injustice, I thoroughly enjoyed that. It's kind of why I also enjoy games like Mortal Kombat. I like Street Fighter, but Street Fighter goes into the whole, like, you know, back forward slash like super complicated combo thing that I end up just button mashing through because I don't know what I'm doing.
I always felt like Soul Calibur was a good happy medium there.
Soul Calibur,
I will
like,
agree with that.
my problem with Soul Calibur is if the game is literally built on the, especially now, built on the concept of rock, paper, scissors. Like, you know, if you have two moves that are going at each other, it functions exactly like rock, paper, scissors. That always kind of bothered me about it. I bought 6, I think it is, whatever the newest one is.
Right.
Like, all excited for it because I've been a huge fan of them since the game series since the second one, and it just didn't do anything for me. Like, I played it for a while, and then they're doing the same business model that Tekken is doing, the season pass thing, which each season pass gives you, I think, 3 or 5 new characters, and I'm just like, I don't care enough to do this again.
Yeah.
Like, I do Tekken out of some weird sense of
Obligation.
Yeah, obligation. Because like, I've been a Tekken fan since the very first one, finding it in the arcade at fucking Hackers up in Niles.
Right.
But it just, as I said, like, it really hasn't done a whole lot.
It's all kind of stagnated.
Tekken, especially when they added in the super moves, I was like, this is derivative bullshit. It watered it down. You know?
Yeah. Did Tekken ever really do a real like story-centric game?
They've had a couple. Like, obviously, there's been an ongoing story since the very beginning. Plus, then they had, I think it might have been either 4 or 5. There's been a couple of them that had side stories that were walk-through beat-em-ups, which don't really work with the Tekken style. Mm-hmm. But there was a story based involved in the whole thing. And then there was the side story involving Nina on the PS2. I forget what it's called. Death by Degrees.
Yeah.
Which I never played because I don't care. And some of the characters did actually make appearances and things like that. But I think that's about it. I've never played I know there's a Tekken Advance on the Game Boy. I never played that.
Yeah. I vaguely recall that existing.
Yeah.
So circling back real quick to tonight's topic, I'd like to just take a moment to shout out a little appreciation for the beautiful shared universe of the Behemoth. The fact that Alien Hominid, Castle Crashers, Battle Block Theater all string together in this weird, loose way. I think that's absolutely gorgeous, and I so want that to just continue. Part of me is glad that they're bringing back Alien Hominid with like a remaster, rework, whatever it is they're doing with it. But part of me is sad that I'm not getting a new Behemoth game in its place that expands that out a little.
Was Battle Block Theater any good?
Yes. Pit People was the one that I didn't give a shit about.
What was it?
Pit People.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, that was their last one, actually.
Mashups.
It's more of a strategy game.
Not interested.
Exactly.
There is no reason that a Devil May Cry Bayonetta crossover doesn't exist.
Ooh.
Think about it. I mean, they're
God,
the same
no
fucking
kidding.
game, you know? Plus, imagine them, the two characters interacting with one another.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be perfect. Like,
I can see that. I feel like too.
Actually, no, as a matter of fact, they actually do exist in the same universe now that I remember. There's a character, you've played the first one?
About the first hour.
Okay, do you remember in the opening story, the guy driving the car, the whiny Italian guy?
Vaguely.
His name was Enzio. He is mentioned multiple times in ancillary media and in the early Devil May Cry stuff.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
So they actually do exist in the same universe.
That's kind of spectacular. Oh. Shit, there was one in my head a minute ago.
Sitting here while y'all talk about shit that I have no idea what you're talking about. I love it. I'm just sitting here watching you two, and I'm like, look at these nerds. Just, oh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know.
Turn it up. There's, like, I would love to see, like, say, I would have loved to have something to shove, the Soul Reaver universe, the Legacy of Kain series, but I can't think of anything that would actually work, because, well, Primal was along the same lines, but Primal wasn't a great game. Soundtrack was fantastic, but...
Not a bad thought.
Yeah. I don't know,
Actually,
I just really want more Soul Reaver.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a vague rumor of them working on a reboot, but like nothing obviously set in stone.
Oh.
Like recently.
We've talked about this because Dennis Dyack is working the spiritual successor.
Right. No, I'm talking. Let me see if I can find the article and send it to.
Actual inside the IP.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. But no. That I just remembered what I was fucking thinking of. I don't even much care what I won't say it's a universe cross so much, but I'd like to see them make a genre cross. I honestly think that Battletoads would have a great framework for a side-scroll platformer, like an action platformer.
Okay. I could see
I
that.
can see that really well. And I'm kind of disappointed now that doesn't exist. Because I would love to take those characters, that style, that humor, all of that, and stuff that into an action platformer instead of just a beat 'em up. So, but
I can see that. Although, if there's any more of those fucking speeder bike levels, I'm out. Fuck that level. How come, like, how about Battletoads and Earthworm Jim?
ooh, I could see that actually. God, oh fuck, I can see that.
That article I just put in the chat.
Okay.
Rumor Legacy of Kain remake in the works. New features detailed.
Michael, I just figured out what we need to cross Battletoads with.
What?
Hollow Knight, because it's all bugs and they're frogs and they'll fucking eat the bugs.
No, because then you'll have an entire game of nothing but the Quolock fight. You just bitching that fucking dog!
I really want something to team up with Sonic.
Oh,
Like I want
we've officially crossed Sonic and Mario. That's been a thing for years now.
Mhm.
See, I want an actual platformer like that, though. Like with Sonic and Mario.
Yeah.
Not just a, hey, here's a racing game with extra characters. Not just a tennis game or...
Right.
Yeah.
No, give me an actual game where like you can switch off between the two characters. Because obviously they have different skill sets and things like that.
Yeah.
You could do it kind of
God, the
how
level
Sonic
design on that
Generations
would
was set
happen.
up.
No, here's what you do,
That
okay?
would be such a fucking beast.
Yeah, the concept of, like, for instance, you know how Mario gets, like, the Tanuki suit and all these others? Give him a Sonic
Yeah.
suit.
Ooh.
Yes.
He can run faster and do the spin dash thing, and then give some way of Sonic having a few of Mario's abilities.
Overalls
Give him
and a
the fucking
hat.
mushroom.
Yeah.
Overalls in the hat. Let him be like big, so you just have this like bigger dude just running and destroying shit. Give him the mushroom. Can you imagine Sonic having like the flower power?
He actually, there is an ability in the Sonic games kind of along those lines, a fireball ability.
Oh yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I want to see Bowser get a hold of all the Chaos Emeralds and
Ooh.
become like Super Bowser. Like,
There it
imagine
is.
Imagine,
him-
like, Bowser.
That's what
Yeah.
this is we've got Robotnik and Bowser teaming up to
That's what I was gonna say.
trash the
Robotnik
collective
and
universe.
Bowser.
I want one of the two bad guys, either Bowser or Robotnik, teaming up with the rest of them to fight the other one, because fuck that guy. He's a dick. I tried to team up with him, and he said no, so I need your help kicking his ass.
I could see this.
Yes. Yeah, I
can
want
see
I
this.
want like a Sonic platform game and him to be matched up with somebody. I think it would be cool as hell. Speaking
see
of
that.
Sonic, I would always say this: that whole Werehog game was like Sonic Unleashed was fucking like just dumpster fire bullshit. No one wants a slow Sonic.
Actually,
You know what I want to see? Give me a mashup game where all the side characters of all these games are the main characters. Luigi, Shadow the Hedgehog, all these lame-ass nobody characters that people don't really give a shit about.
the best part is Luigi's had his own games, and so did Shadow.
Yeah,
Yeah, but mash them up.
those
mash
are the
them up.
side bullshit characters no one cares about. They have their own games.
That nobody cared about.
I don't know. A lot of people like. A lot of my friends like Luigi's Mansion.
And Super Luigi U. So,
I've
now
never
that said,
heard of that one.
yeah, it was like a standalone / DLC for New Super Mario Brothers U on the Wii U.
Oh.
So, I figured out who to stuff Sonic together with, just in terms of like cohesive level design in the fact that they're both very fluid running momentum based characters. Explosion Man.
Oh my god!
Yeah!
Yes. Fuck yes.
I've said for years, Explosion Man feels like a Sonic game.
I also want to see Mario, the newer Mario 3D type games, mashed up with the Maw.
I can get behind this, actually.
Oh.
God, bring the Maw back.
I never got to play much
I want a
of that one.
sequel. I want a sequel to the Maw. That game was adorable. I should see if that's backwards compatible on the Xbox One. I don't know if that is or isn't actually.
I don't think it is.
That's
There's
a
a bunch of stuff that's not. That was their biggest, just in my opinion, downfall with the Xbox One is so much stuff is not backwards compatible. And I'm just like, everybody. I'm like, so what is everyone supposed to do with all their 360 games?
Yeah.
Because the 360 is going to become obsolete, and people's systems are going to crash, and no one really wants to go out and buy another 360 just to have it. I'm like, make your stuff backwards compatible. Now, I could understand if this next, Xbox doesn't go all the way to 360. I get that.
Yeah.
Because going back too far, it just won't be good quality stuff. But at least the previous generation.
I actually have the original model of the PlayStation 3 that has the hardware in it that's backwards compatible.
Right.
I literally bought it specifically that was the major thing. It's like I can sell off my PS2, and what the hell was that? Oh, is that a cat?
It's Kit Kat.
Oh yeah, it's Butters.
Butters.
But
Hi, Kit Kat.
I had a friend that had the same model, and when it burned out on him a long time ago, he tried to buy another one, and it's going for like $800.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's absurd.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I love having it, but I couldn't tell you the last time I actually turned the damn thing on because, I have all the current gen systems. So I literally keep my Xbox One just for Ori 2.
Well, I was gonna buy an Xbox One here shortly because I no longer have one. But Larry advised me to wait until the new system that comes out later this year because it is supposed to be backwards compatible. And because mostly I was just worried, my Spyro games that I have and that I love to play are for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Well, if nothing else, at the very least, hold off, and there's going to be a fucking price drop if you don't want to spring for bleeding edge hardware either. So
Right.
I never buy
investing
buy new hardware right away because they always gotta wait some time to work the bugs out of it.
Yep.
Which is terrible because I know the PlayStation 5 is gonna have a bunch of shit that I'm gonna want to play pretty much right off the bat. Because they're already talking with the new God of War, stuff like that. Nothing has been set in stone, of course, but the sequel to God of War, I don't give a shit what game system that comes out for. I have to have it.
God of War is
It's
amazing.
going to be a exclusive to the. Oh God, what the fuck was that?
Oh my
blanking
God,
now.
that's another game that goes well with Diablo.
God of War?
Ooh.
Yeah,
talking-
I mean they're two.
I could kind of
talking
see a
different
God of War
theologies?
dungeon crawler.
So you're talking the old one or the new one?
Like God of War?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old
There's
one.
there's a drastic difference if you haven't played the
I've
newest
only
one.
played the older ones. I
Oh
haven't
my
played
God.
the new one.
If you guys don't have a PlayStation, trust me,
Yeah.
hands down, best one of the series.
Really?
This game was literally one of the best games I've ever played. The game is so heavy though that I haven't been able to bring myself to go back to it because it was so well done, but I haven't been able to bring. There was the way they did the game. Everything in the game felt fluid. There was one part of the game that actually felt like a game mechanic, and everything else was perfect. It is, as I said, one of the best games I've ever played.
Do you feel inclined to want to go back to it, and it's just a struggle to get your brain there, or
Yes.
you just okay?
Because, as I said, the storyline-wise, it's very heavy. Like, and I mean, there are, like, it can be played separate from the originals. You know, like, if you've never played the originals, you can go back, you can play it and not miss much. But there are a few bits that tie in that are so well done. Like, as I said, I'm just playing through it. Because I went into it completely blind. And there were parts that fucking gave me goosebumps. They were so well done. And as I said, like, I'm really waiting for news of any kind on a sequel to it, because I know they're working on it. It was one of the best games they've done. And then, like, the Spider-Man for the PlayStation was another one that was absolutely phenomenal.
That was awesome. My friend has a PlayStation, and I saw him play that. It was beautiful.
It's like any other open world game. It got a little repetitive near the end, but I enjoyed the shit out of that game. And then, as I said, like, it doesn't matter what system they say it. The next Darksiders, I will have. That's just how it is. I'm obsessed with the series. This is gonna happen. Yeah. I'm sure there's others too. Like, and the main reason I've always been a PlayStation guy, though, is like the Tekken series for the longest time was PlayStation exclusive. The Devil May Cry's were PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
And I don't fault them for not being that anymore.
Right.
But, you know, like, I've always preferred the PlayStation controller to the Xbox controllers.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I like the chunky Xbox controllers. Like, I just like how they feel in my hand.
Yeah.
Sony controllers lost me at the PS3 with the triggers.
Yeah.
Those triggers felt terrible.
There's actually an upgrade you could buy. That
I
is
shouldn't have to.
I agree. But there was this upgrade that literally they clip on, and I got so used to using them that at one point I was getting really into the game, and they fucking popped off, so I'm freaking the fuck out. When I finished the game, I literally glued them in place.
Well, I think we've gotten long in the tooth, and I think we've definitely derailed solidly. So let's call it here for this week. Thank you to everybody that stuck around and listened to our insanity, as always. Thank you to both Michael and Zoe for joining. Thank you to Kathy, who was with us earlier. And we'll see y'all next week. That's it. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Bye.
Good night, Gracie.
Peace!